Yo, what's up, guys? You got II here. Today, again with Illusion.
Back again, once again.
And today we're playing Team Red. And as you can see, they brought Crocodile, Infernape, Mega Aggron, Torn T, Swampert, and Florges. And we brought Heracross, Coco, Feraligatr, Gligar, Metagross, and Snorlax. You want to talk about why we led Metagross?
All right, so looking at the team preview, we're thinking that Feraligatr has a good team matchup. So we want to keep that in the back. And we're also thinking that they could be either lead Aggron, Swampert, or Crocodile. We don't think they're going to be like the Rocks, Endeavor, Infernape. We think a much more effective set would be like a Wall Breaker or Scarf. So we're going to lead Metagross because if they lead Swampert, we can Grass Knot. If they lead Aggron, they can't kill us and we can Stealth Rock. And Metagross is designed to take on Crocodile with its Cobra Berry.
Yeah, exactly. And what's interesting about their team is they have no hazard removal. So once we get up rocks, it's there to stay. And that helps pressuring Tornadus, and it helps pressuring Infernape. Um, we have Grass Knot for Swampert, Meteor Mash as just good coverage. The only way we wouldn't really be able to get up rocks is if they're banded Crocodile. But if they're banded, they can't kill with knockoff because we're Colberberry. The only way they could kill us is with Earthquake, and the odds of them doing that are very slim because we have Gligar, which could easily take that on, and Heracross, which could set up on that. So they go for the knockoff, and right off the bat, that does about half. So we put it into the calculator, and to me, it looked like they were banded. We found out later that they weren't. But that mindset, thinking they were banded, actually helped us out this next play because we thought they were banded. We thought it was a free switch into Tapu Koko. And so they go for the knockoff again. That does about 25%. And at this point, we're still thinking they're banded because that's about the damage they're doing. We find out later they're actually Dread Plate, which does around the same damage on the calculator.
Yeah,
But,
Adamant Dreadplate and Jolly Banded have the same damage rolls with Dark type moves.
yeah. So that worked out for us, but we completely misinterpreted their set. So we think they're still locked in. We know they have to switch because we thought they were locked in. So we go into Heracross expecting perhaps Swampert to come out as like a switch in to prevent Volt Switch.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, if they go into Swampert, that gives us a free sub or a free big hit because they don't really have a good switch in the Mega Heracross.
exactly.
Especially if we're sub. If we sub up and they bring in like Torn, we get like they can't break our sub with anything but like an attack they have to stay in, and we can kill Torn. And if Torn's gone, that's pretty much the biggest threat to our team. And if they bring in something like Florges, we can get like 2 Rock Blasts off, and that should do a lot of damage.
Yeah. And Florges, although it can wall part of our team, it's not necessarily a threat to us because we have things like Snorlax, Metagross, and Gligar, which can take it on fairly easily. So we decided to go into Metagross because we figured it was a free Meteor Mash.
This also reveals that Florges is their initial switch into Coco,
Yep.
which
So
is pretty interesting. So now we know that usually they're gonna try and switch Florges in first.
yeah. So they go into Tornadus, and after calculating it, we determine that Heat Wave kills us no matter what. So we're thinking we can't stay in versus this because Metagross is still useful, weakening Swampert and killing Florges if that thing gets out of hand. So we find out it's leftovers, which is very interesting. We calced it with leftovers, and Heat Wave still killed Metagross, or had a strong chance to kill. So now we go into Tapu Koko because we can take on pretty much any set, and we figured they wouldn't Sludge Wave here if they even
Yeah.
had it.
There's no way they Sludge Wave a Metagross because we could go for a Meteor Mash, and if their Tornadus dies to the Meteor Mash, that's they gain nothing.
Yeah,
So that would be too much of a wild prediction for them to Sludge Wave right here because Heat Wave just kind of hits everything.
yeah. Another reason we went into Koko is because we could heal off on Tornadus at any point because we know they're not going to stay in versus Tapu Koko. So they switch out and they go into Florges here as we just go for a Roost as Electric Terrain ends. So we know we can't stay in or set up on this. So we go into Gligar this play as they go for a Wish. Now, okay, so we double here. Yeah, so we thought they would go into Swampert this play because it was a pretty easy switch in to Gligar. even if we're like Swords Dance or whatever or Toxic. So we go into Metagross here, and this may not seem like the best matchup, but because we have Grass Knot, we can weaken it a fair amount. Now, if they weren't Rindo Berry, it did over half. It was a 2 KO.
And if we get Ledoux over half with the grass knot, they die to just a base Z Dazzle
Hmm.
if they switch in, which would be useful because that's their only electric immunity.
Yeah, but now after +1, I think Z Dazzling Gleam can kill it, which is the damage we needed. And we figured that if anything, they'd set up rocks on Metagross, and we get a hit off on it. So they go for rocks there, and rocks are annoying for us, but not too big of a deal. So at this play, we figured they might stay in, expecting some prediction on our part. We decided to make the safe play and just Grass Knot here.
Yeah, we didn't think they'd go into Tornadus because if we did make like a rogue Meteor Mash play, that would be terrible for them. But they make the play and they got it right,
Yeah, it works
which
out
is
for
good.
them there. So they go for Heat Wave, and as we said earlier, it does kill us, even though they're
So right
leftovers.
here, we showed Tapu Koko as our initial switch in case they have Sludge Wave, and like since they know we can switch into Koko, we think that they might Sludge Wave. And since Koko's so good right now, we don't want them to kill our Koko. We can't risk it, so we just let Metagross in to die.
Yeah, another reason we know why Coco is so good, because now, because of the damage Crocodile did, we know they're not Scarfed. So they kill Metagross, and we go Tapu Koko here, and this basically forces them to switch. And that gives us an opportunity to Calm Mind up here. So we go for Calm Mind, and we figure, hey, we can take one Moonblast and kill it back, so why don't we Calm Mind again? So we Calm Mind again, and at this point we can go for a free Z Dazzling Gleam that easily kills Swampert. They go into Crocodile, and what's awesome about this is, as we said earlier, we know they're not Scarf based on the
Yeah,
damage they did
we
to
know they're a boosting item.
Metagross.
We may have been wrong about Banded, but with the damage they did to Metagross, we know they're not Scarf because they have a boosting item.
Exactly.
So they try to bluff the Scarf on us, but we calc the damage and we know we can kill Crocodile. And this also reveals something pretty devastating to them. Since they didn't bring in Infernape
Yep.
immediately, they tried to bluff the Scarf. We know when they're not Scarfed Infernape anymore.
Exactly. So
So now they have nothing on their team to outspeed Coco. So Coco is free to just get a kill, like
yeah,
two more kills. We might be able to sweep their team if they don't play this correctly.
yeah. So that leaves us to wreak havoc on their team, basically. So we go for Dazzling Gleam, easily kill Crocodile, and now they have a decision to make. What do they want to sack? So they go into Florges, as that's a free kill with T-Bolt. The crit did not matter there. We're +2 in Electric Terrain. Now they go into Aggron, and after calcing it, we are not able to one-shot it, even at +2, because Electric Terrain is gone. And because they still have Infernape and Tornadus left, we figured Coco was still useful. So we go into Gligar, as that's pretty much the most useless mon on our team right now. They go for Heavy Slam. Go for
Gligar can
Roost.
still check Infernape, but right now we have Coco. We know it's not Scarf because they didn't bring it in. So pretty much Coco wins if we can weaken Aggron, and it can pretty much kill the remaining three.
Yeah, and because of the damage it's doing to Gligar, we can basically determine that their max attack, and that's actually pretty threatening versus us, but it also frees up Coco to put in more work. So we go into Heracross, and at this point, we go for the substitute because we don't know whether or not they'll switch in Tornadus, and we didn't want to close combat that and have Tornadus kill us and gain momentum versus us. So we go for a substitute basically to scout, and they reveal the Aerial Ace. So this Aggron set proves to be more of a threat than we first realized. We close combat it just to get damage off as they kill us with Aerial Ace, but now we can go into Tapu Koko, and we can just get a T-Bolt off. So we kill Aggron, and now they go into Infernape. And initially I thought Thunderbolt killed, but I was wrong. But that ended up not mattering as they killed themselves with Flare Blitz. And now it's Snorlax and Feraligatr versus Tornadus.
So even if they didn't they fire punched and killed Coco, we had Aqua Jet on Gator to beat Tornadus and Coco. So the Gator plus Snorlax always beat Tornadus and a low health Infernape. So now it's pretty much us just beating Tornadus because it can't really break through Snorlax.
Yeah, exactly. So we get flinched there. It doesn't end up mattering. Figgy Berry heals us back up to 82%. And we proceed to win the game with Body Slam.
Yeah, since they're parried, Feraligatr could just waterfall after. So as soon as they got parried, they lost. But even if we didn't get the pair, if we got them low enough, we could have just Aqua Jet or Waterfall because nothing they had could have killed Gator at full health unless they crit.
Exactly. So, GG to Team Red, and stay tuned for more TMT matches.